And now we're on the way to the panel right now. So we're almost there, but we have a bunch of people in the way. As you can see, there's a huge buildup of people right in the main corridor here. This is the line for SacAnime. It's a pretty huge line. Luckily, we got our passes yesterday, so we don't have to wait in this line.
I'm gonna get upset. There's no reason for you guys to talk right here. Get to where you're going before we can get everybody in, please. This is not a place.
As you can see, there's a huge number of people in this area. Security's trying to keep the pathways clear. Yeah, and there's just a huge number of people here. Now we're going to the Mission Start podcast. And right now, here's the vendors hall.
I'm dumb. I walk outside and I'm like,
the autograph area. There's some of the people who are here.
Filming that?
Yep.
It's even more marvelous outside.
And now here's the panel room.
Give them a table about yay size, about yay big, and put them off in the corner of the con. You know, like you do your thing, and people walk by and they're like, oh, Lou Ferrigno. Oh, $60 for a picture. Bye, Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, and it's seriously just how he was over there. Although conversely, I'm sure that most of you know who Elvira, Mistress of the Dark is, right? I'm pretty sure that some of us grew up watching her shows on every Halloween. Her Epihuman, sorry. But her appearance in one of the old Scooby-Doo cartoons, right? Well,
yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I better remember the Ghostbusters or the Globetrotters.
We're kind of old.
That's true too. We gotta.
Anywho, I was actually able to get some pictures with her, and the thing is that she was probably one of the most reasonable people that you could have probably met over at the con. You know, just get any two things from our booth. You know, either one for DVDs or Halloween specials for $25, and you know anything else, just two of them together for that. Free autographs and free pictures. So that's probably probably one of the coolest things I've ever had over there. And hell, I got to see Ryan Reynolds' panel on the Green Lantern movie, which was yet to be released at the time.
You know, she looks pretty good for her age.
Yeah,
how old is she really?
She is.
Just saying.
Honestly, I cannot believe it in any way, shape, or form. But supposedly she's 62 years old. She still looks like she's in her 30s at best, at worst.
Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah. So I've been going for conventions for a number of years for obvious reasons. Since 2006. The stories I come out with, each one goes from the ugly, the bad, and the downright funny, maybe. This story happened to me first time with the SacAnime. I mean, Fanime, my bad. So, first time Fanime, I was just as Naruto. 2006, I was there, and it was me and my friends were walking around the convention, and the first thing, the very, very first act, somebody did to me as far as like when I was cosplaying as Naruto is a guy in a maid outfit hugged me, and I was like, I was kind of weirded out by that.
I was a maid outfit because that guy ran a shop for a good few years.
No, I've seen no, not him, it was somebody else. So this guy then proceeds to kind of follow me throughout the 4 days that I was there. Unfortunately, I had to have a friend that kind of bodyguard me the entire time. So that was kind of creepy on its own. But the other thing that happened, aside from the whole creeper status, is that the first time I got glomped by like anybody really, I was in the game room. Oh yeah, sure. It was in the game room. You know, my friends were about to play Battlefield 2, and it was a PC tournament. So they had it set up to where they had us kind of behind the line, and they put us, whoever named as far as like the title or the name of our team, out in the front for everybody. So I'm standing there, you know, because they call our name first, and I'm just by myself, you know, and then suddenly out of nowhere, these 4 girls just come right at me at the same time, just glomp me, and the definition of glomp is just running up to somebody and hugging them, or tackling them, yeah, really.
You haven't done it right unless they're on the floor.
I know, seriously. The thing is though, is like at first I enjoyed it, but then the second thing is like, one of them smelled. Like, straight up, just BO, and it was like a moment of triumph and just loss at the same time, you know? Yeah, it was like, yes, it's gone now. So, after that, they said something, I can't remember exactly what they said. They said, you got hugged by yada yada cosplay group, and then they left, and then I was left there stunned. Ironically, my friends and I went on to win our first match, which I guess was my good luck charm, so I guess it works. Yeah, like really. Alright, so, well, I'm going to go more. I got more stories. Alright,
I was just saying, quick reminder to everybody, the thing over there to do the raffle later is still available. So.
Oh yes.
Yeah, if you guys want to try to chase get some stuff we got, we have some Mario Kart stuff, like I said earlier.
Raffle 3, Penny Arcade stuff, some good stuff.
On that Raffle.
Yeah, the guy with the jar, he's kind of, looks like he's kind of sabotaging you right now.
Yeah, one name.
One name per person, please, mister.
It's like taking out people's names.
It's like,
we're on to you, buddy.
It's right name sequence by 40 times. Okay, so I got another one. This one will stick with me for a long, long time because this, yeah. So,
How bad is it?
well, let's see. Let's just say that.
How bad was it?
Man, you're still.
It was so bad.
Who's on up to something like that? Yeah. Then again, I watched like Game Show Network back in the summer, so. Yeah. Anyways, so this happened at Family once again, and my friends and I were walking down the hallways, and I was in Naruto. And this Jiraiya cosplayer came at me, just kind of in the opposite direction. So he sees me, and I see him as like, I say hi to Herman because that's his nickname on the show. And he, sees me, fakes like he's gonna fight me, and then just walks off and saying, I gotta let you go. And then as he walks off, it's like, yeah, go back watch street porn. So my friends were crapping up afterwards. And so later on, hours passed. My friend Tim, he invited me to go to see hentai, like at the hentai room at Anime. And
Which, by the way, is mostly.
Don't worry. I will keep it censored. So hey, whatever. So he invites me to go, and he's like, only once, so I waited. The thing was though, was like the hentai room was the line for it was so longer.
I don't know if it's true though.
Yaoi line was. So
kind of funny.
we decided to go to the Yaoi line. It's like, all right, sure, let's go in there. And let's you know, kind of go through there.
Before you realize what that word is.
I kind of. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, so I get up to the front, I get up to the line, and then first thing happens is like that same dry cosplayer I told off earlier was right across from me. And he sees me and he's like, I look at him, I both stare at each other for like a good minute. It's like, this is not what it looks like. And he tells me, at what point did you lose it? So, you know, my friend backed me up and he's like, you know, we're just, you know, seeing what it is. It's like, oh yeah, you're not impressing any ladies tonight. So I was like, all right, whatever. So we go in, we watch one episode, you know, yeah, we watch one episode and, you know, at first like, okay, it is what it is. And, you know, we kind of looked at it and it's like, all right, we're good, so we're going to cleanse ourselves and in some sort of decent way as guys, we'll go into hentai room afterwards. Well, that didn't fix things at all. That actually made things worse. Because, to put it lightly, so we went in, we sat down. You hear hollowing and screaming from the background. You know, you hear, you know, people, you know, making the funniest stuff. Yeah, doing stuff. I mean, they were making fun of it. Yeah, I know. So anyways, on screen, there was something that happened on screen to where I can't describe it to words, but it was just like, oh yeah, I'm like most animes of that nature. Yeah, basically.
That's all you need right there is.
Yeah, I guess I wish
I in a PG way, we'll carry off on that.
Yeah, just let it go. Wow, you know, this whole yaoi story actually just made something a little bit more clear about it. This guy at SacAnime last year where he claims he lost a bet.
I did.
No, whatever. I'm trying to call this guy to figure out, you know, his camera so we can record the masquerade to try and put it up on our site. And I go, oh, where are you? I can't see you, but I do see this really ugly chick up on the top of the stairs. And he's like, oh, I'm up on the top of the stairs. Where is she? And I look up and I climb up the top of the stairs and I go, dude, she's like, I'm standing right next to her. He turns around, it's him on the phone. He's the ugly chick I'm talking about. He's cross-playing as, I don't even know, what were you doing that from?
Angel Wings.
Okay, well, he had thigh highs on, he was wearing a schoolgirl skirt, he had this bright, like, purple, pink wave, and he shaved his life.
Hey, you know, you know what, I'm a cosplayer, you know, I go full out.
I don't care, you shaved your legs.
Hey, I go full out.
You lost your main card.
Oh, strike one.
What? No, there's no strikes. You lost it with that. That's the first one.
And the sad thing is that I made it on the
same stairway. But, so yeah, this guy's like, oh, I lost the bet. So the entire time I have to walk around with this guy like an ugly date. Like, I felt like I got like the last pick of the ball. But no, it was just, that makes so much more sense now, Anthony. Thank you for explaining the yaoi moment. Now it's all there. No, my first ever convention was SacCon in 2005 because I was just kind of really getting more into anime. Then I was always anti-anime for a really long time. And then I started getting into it, and funny enough, I was like, you know, everybody does this cosplay thing, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw this crappiest costume together that I have. I had combat boots, I had a Punisher t-shirt, and I had a black trench coat. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna go as a Punisher. Which is funny enough, I did that yesterday, but it was a lot better. But I'm walking around, and I'm getting told by all these Naruto cosplayers, because it's 2005 and everybody does Naruto. The entire convention is like Naruto cosplay. Yeah, and so I'm getting told off by people wearing Naruto headbands, just headbands, by the way. This was cosplay back then, Naruto headbands. And I'm getting told off by these guys that I should not be dressed as a comic book character. Like, right now, I'm at an anime convention as a character from Zoolander. Like, I don't care. Like, I cosplay what I want to. And this was before, I guess, like, Disney cosplay started getting really big at anime conventions, and more Marvel, DC stuff happened. But
there are a few Snow Whites that have been showing up every now and then.
Yeah, you'll see a lot. There's a Disney group roaming around now. Like, back then, it was just really like, oh, if you're not doing anime, why are you here?
So I was doing Punisher, and I'm getting like, these like kids that just headbands are like, what are you doing? Why are you dressed in this costume? Why are you going here? And I was like, why are you wearing a headband? And they're like, because it's from Naruto. And I'm like, do you live in this world? Do you have Max ninja skills? And they're like, no. And I'm like, then take off the headband. You haven't gotten your special scroll. You don't live in the village hidden under the leaf. I don't watch Naruto, so forgive me if I got that wrong. But so I'm just getting told off constantly by Naruto cosplayers, and I'm seeing these guys decked out from like Trigun and animes that like are actually like really like better plot lines to me, and I'm just like, you know what? You don't have a gigantic cross on your back. You can't talk. Like at least back then I was just like, you know what? You're wearing a headband. Get with it. Like, that's your cosplay, don't get on me for putting more effort into it. Even though I spent like 5 minutes putting this thing together, I still have more effort in my costume. And it was just like, stop telling me off. Like, I can't, like, I don't know, it just bothered me to no end that I was getting told off by headbangers. That's what we called them, headbangers. Yes, back then. No, and I've got my own little geek out story like Greg over there has. I don't know how many of you guys know who Will Wheaton is. Like, anybody know? Will Wheaton, or Wheaton, yeah. Well, yeah, it's like all three people in the audience. He used to be Wesley Crusher on Star Trek, the original Star Trek series, and he's really big on the Guild right now. He comes on and he was, what's-her-face's,
like Nemesis?
Felicia Day's character's like boyfriend / nemesis, and he was like their anti-Guild guy. And he has his own blog. He's really big on like the internet and Twitter and all that jazz.
He does a couple guest spots on Big Bang Theory too.
Yeah, he's Sheldon Cooper's big rival, but now he's like his best friend. So I was like a massive Trekkie when I was a kid, and I was like, oh my god, this is Will Wheaton, I'm totally not going to geek out. Totally not going to geek out. I'm just going to come over there and shake his hand and be like, dude, you're totally awesome, your blog's hilarious, and that's it. So what happens when I walk up to him like, oh my god, I'm so glad to meet you, Will Wheaton? I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's Will Wheaton. And so I'm like, dude, I totally idolized you as a kid. You were like who I wanted to be. I told you were like the kid on Star Trek. And then I was like, oh my god, this guy probably thinks I'm a loser. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, too bad I don't have a Wesley Crusher toy or anything for you to sign, man. It totally would have been awesome. And I was sitting there sounding like a total idiot. And oh yeah, it was so bad. I was geeking out so hard.
If you guys don't mind, I have another quick story about a geek out moment that's hilarious.
I'll tell you after my conga line story. That's actually kind of awesome. Yeah. And so I'm just like, oh my god, like fuming. And the entire time, I just felt like a complete ass. I was like, what am I doing? And then I went to his panel, and I was like, the entire time I was like this. It was really bad.
Isn't that kind of how most of us are when we meet our first?
Yeah, he was like my idol as a kid. I was like, oh my god, you got to go on the bridge. Like the only kid on the bridge. And it was like, yeah, I was totally, yeah, it was sad. Just sad. Yeah, he was at a SacCon a couple of months back. And then my other guest story is I got to meet James O'Barr, who created the Crow series. And I'm like a massive Crow fan. And I was like, dude, and my ex at the time was like, oh, why don't you go take a picture with him? And I was like, awesome. So I get this picture, and I'm wearing a crappy Star Trek uniform, and I'm wearing like this. My face is literally like this in the picture. It was all bad, yeah. So one of my big guests that I finally got to meet, I had this whole little derp face. I'm just like, I was like, this guy. Yeah, it was all bad. And then my last story I'll tell is there was a SacAnime was at the Radisson Hotel, or not the Radisson, the Red Lion Hotel over by Art and Fair Mall. So everyone was like, oh, let's go to the mall for lunch. And so we're all in cosplay. I'm dressed as, I think I was Ash from Pokemon the day I did this. And so I'm sitting, we're all eating dinner, and then this girl comes to me, she goes, oh, we're gonna go do like a classroom, like a Japanese classroom thing where they hold up the signs to tell them where to walk. She's like, we're gonna go walk around the mall doing that. And I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and do that. So I get in there, and then somehow we decide to, we're like, oh, let's go into the Gap. Let's go into the Gap and see how they all freak out about it. So I go in there, and then they start threatening to call security on us. So I hear, oh, I'm gonna call security. I turn around, I'm like, screw this, I'm not gonna be in this anymore. I turn around, and I'm at the very end of the mall, at the very end of like the store. So as I'm leaving, I start feeling awkward because I know people are coming behind me, so I start kind of doing like a little awkward like tiptoe dance out, which apparently turned into hold on to his shoulders and start a conga line. So I started a conga line unintentionally out of the Gap. So yeah, which led to going out of the Gap, down by where KB Toys used to be at, down the escalators, in a full conga line, just trying to get the hell out of there. I was just kind of dancing literally like tiptoeing out of the way. And next thing I know, I have hands, and I was like, and then it just went to cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-ha, and then we all started doing it out in line. I have no idea what was going on, it just occurred. So I ran with it, and that's how I started a conga line out of the gap.
And the part where they start freaking out because like they said like, oh my god, the security's gonna call on us. And they all started running off.
Everyone started freaking out because right when we got to the main security desk of where it's at, they started getting on the cosplayers for coming into the mall in costume with their props. So it was like one of the big, huge security guards is like, hey, what are you guys doing over here? And so the kids started freaking out, thinking they were going to get in trouble. So everyone's like scattering, like when you turn on the lights and like you see like all sort of like insects go, oh god, and they like scatter everywhere. In like movies, that's what was going on right at that instant. You hear, what are they doing? And it's like, oh no! Everyone was just like beelining in different directions, trying to find the nearest entrance. And I'm still like, dude, I didn't get to eat my food. Like, I was like, I want to go back up to the lunch court. And they're like, oh, as long as you guys aren't causing problems. And speaking of that same convention, I was dressed as Ash, and I had a Jessie with me, and we were trying to go get Jamba Juices, and we were getting asked by people if we're doing a movie, if they're doing a Pokemon movie. And we're like, yes, we are big, we're going to be big actors, they're doing a live-action Pokemon film, you guys totally got to get in on this. And I was like, yeah, we're filming in the mall, we're going to have like a big battle scene, and it'll totally be awesome, and we totally had these like 4 people believing it, so. Oh yeah, that mall is like the fun place, because you can get to it from here. I mean, it's just like right down the way. So that's where we'd go for Jamba Juice. If you're like a zombie, like when I've done zombie makeup, I can't eat solid foods because it'll screw up all my makeup. So I got a Jamba Juice. There's a beggar outside asking for money. And as I'm walking by, she's like, you got any spare? What the fuck? And I was like, yeah. So I've gotten some good random cosplay incidents that come from it, so. And then,
oh yeah, my quick story. You guys know who Nathan Fillion is, right?
Yes. Firefly Castle.
One of my friends is a huge Nathan Fillion fan, and we were at this is Comic-Con 08 again, and we're standing like in this food court area. Well, the Browncoats booth is just right like next to us. All of a sudden we see a huge line forming behind us. I turn around and go, what's this line for? We then see Nathan Fillion at the booth. We're like, oh. So him and I pop into the line, and somebody was walking around with the Firefly comic book that had come out not too long ago. And I was like, cool, I'll get this. He was like, he bought a copy, and I actually bought a brown coat shirt. So I was just gonna have him sign that. We get up there, and I composed myself. I was like, yeah, I like your work, it's awesome, and take a picture, click. He turns right to my buddy and goes, so you want me to sign something or a picture? And he, that's all he could say. I'm not kidding, it was just mumbles. Nathan's like, do you want a picture? Do you want a picture? Just hands him the comic. So then I grabbed it, like I could see his like frustration because there's a huge line behind us too. So I grab the camera, I take the picture, he signs the comic, and we leave. And that's all my buddy got to say. Nathan Fillion was just mumbles. It was absolutely hysterical.
Yeah, totally awesome. Yeah, you're great. I wanted to be. It's pretty cool.
I wanted to become.
I wanted to live in your skin.
I want to put your face in my face.
I think I would have got banned if I said I wanted to be. I got weird long like a coach.
Awesome. So, in case you don't know, we are giving away prizes. If there's still time, we're just
don't get up again and put your name in there. We have a lot of stuff to get out.
Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff. We put in Battlefield 3, Penny Arcade stuff. We got some Mario Kart awesome posters. We got a lot of cool stuff back here. So you sign your name back there with a piece of paper, tear it out, put it in a jar. We'll do the round. It really does. Oh, now!
The Sonic thing too. I would like Sonic.
Yeah, who likes Sonic? Okay, yeah.
The one person likes Sonic. 2 people go 3. We'll have a contest between the 3 of you.
The Sonic poster.
Yeah.
Yeah, because thankfully with Roger Craig Smith coming up to the next convention, you can get him to sign off because he does the voice for him. So.
Or you could, you know.
Oh, and the Mario Kart side.
Yeah. Who likes Mario Kart?
Random rare goodies I happen to do my hands on.
Yeah. Now it's just us. So Chris, what's up?
Not much, but I am surprised that the first time that I ever actually met you.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, well, formally at least. Because, go figure, during Sean's story, I had met you in the same exact stairwell at the same exact time.
Yeah.
Sean was on the phone with you.
Doesn't the alley story make so much sense?
Yeah, it does. And just going back to the whole anti-room thing, I would like to point out that I went to one back at SacAnime last year because I figured, okay, well, what could this possibly be? I don't have anything else to do, and it's 1:30 in the morning.
Guys, like old guys, you know.
Yeah, no, seriously, like, I went like pretty much 2 whole days without sleeping, and I walked 6.3 miles back to the double tree. It was probably one of the worst decisions I had, just for me being cheap. But yeah, I went ahead and I checked out this one video room and figured, okay, well, what could it possibly be? I come in and I just hear like the most thundering roars that I could have ever possibly heard. People are laughing their heads off. And it's just, you know, how do I phrase it in a polite manner?
Let's see, there was rainbows, there was butterflies,
well, there were rainbow moments.
Yeah,
that
there
people
was.
pointed out, but
yeah, there was.
no, like whenever it went to, let's just say like above the conventional sex, you know, people would always go and yell out, "Stick it in her pooper!"
Yeah.
Just, you know, random moments like that, so they throw out stuff like that. But to make things even better, just to make sure that people weren't taking care of business in there, they had a squad, and they would just go ahead and walk through and they'd say, "Hand check!" And, you know, some people were like, why? And then, you know, there were others like me where I'm just like, check, bro. Jersey,
yeah, I know, seriously.
Come back, bro.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, and apparently that caught on, and a good handful of people were doing that every single time.
Wait, you started that trend?
Yeah, like last year when I was
awesome.
in my Vegeta costume, which, by the way, not a good idea to start walking from the convention center at 4 in the morning for a 6-mile walk back to a hotel and nothing but a spandex wrestling outfit. I decided to be cheap, so you know, that was one.
Yeah. Like always.
Yeah, like, let's see, I can pay the $2 to get, you know, back to the hotel, or I can walk with about 20 pounds of stuff in my hands. Walking.
And
I
who?
want to see if anyone else was...
Last minute entries, anyone want some cool stuff?
Anyone else? No?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, no, if you are 18... What now?
We would want the song.
Wave your hands, probably. Alright, 3.
We'll do something between the 3 or just 3.
Yeah, just 3.
We'll do something between the 3 and you guys see.
Cheese ball.
Alright.
But yeah, like I said, if you're 18 and over and you're looking for a good laugh, maybe just go ahead and check it out.
Or if you can sneak in.
Yeah.
I tried, you know, I tried.
Watch out.
This guy, of course, would have tried.
No.
This guy right here.
I
dressed up as a chick.
Let me explain. I tried one time.
This is a bet.
No, here's the trouble. I tried.
Explain the bet.
No. I tried one time. I was 17. I brought my birth certificate and my school ID, and I tried to bypass the security. They said no.
Your birth certificate.
Well.
This guy's hardcore. He really wanted to.
No, I was.
Yeah.
I was. Okay, whatever. All
So,
right.
like I said, we have goodies.
What should we get over?
I don't know, I'm kind of interested in trying to figure out what we can do to see if they can send song.
Maybe, you know,
Yeah,
fighting
that's
that's a good suggestion. Let's stick something a little
something
practical.
that doesn't kill people.
Should do it.
Only if you're hot. That is around.
Should be the
Well,
last.
what about rock, paper, scissors or something?
I think we should.
And that works.
Who's interested in the huge ass battlefield stand?
Yeah. Battlefield.
Okay, so we've
So
got
we have, like,
3 people for
You
that.
know what? You can either go for Sonic or Battlefield.
You gotta choose one. There can only be
We're
one.
going for Sonic. So,
Sonic. Okay.
So
World's
really
Race
wants
Race.
the Battlefield stand? Oh, you two?
Oh, I got 3D. Okay.
Oh, okay, so
Oh, you can't get it. You're out. He works for us. You can't get it.
It
Yeah.
doesn't work for us. He's just one of my
Okay,
friends.
so then 2?
Yeah. M2.
So what do you guys want to do? Rock, paper, scissors situation?
Yeah, we should do that. Sounds good.
I think they should do
Ninja? Nah, we should keep it safe. Keep it safe, keep it safe.
There's more people.
Yeah.
Rock. Have you tried doing it with group people?
Yeah,
Yeah, but that would take time. It's amazing.
it
It would take so long.
would. It would. Okay, so...
So anything like rock, paper, scissors, that could be done.
Yeah. Alright, you two. Rock, paper, scissors. Best bet at 3.
Dun dun dun.
Oh, wait. You do, or who else?
The guy with weird fox ears?
No, he said he wanted to Sonic.
Sonic, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, they're doing Battlefield, yeah.
Alright, well, you two get to have your
Welcome to the conversation shot.
Come on up to the front stage.
You should play some awesome theme song right now. Yeah.
Don't worry, we might put some awesome theme song in this video later. Make it seem cool.
Oh, we got 3. Okay, that's cool.
Alright, so how do you do 3-way rock, paper, scissors?
What? You just, rock, paper, scissors. Yeah, so. Alright, they're gonna be 1. You guys have at it.
Highlander rules right now.
Yeah. Alright, let's go.
Alright, so
Ooh.
Wow. In 1 shot. Alright, you got the Battlefield. Congrats. Round of applause. Now we can put this in. You can put this in your room now. Put this in front of your lawn.
Someone put it together. Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, alright.
Okay,
But
so you...
worst case scenario, it only takes like
right?
Sonic.
So whoever wants the Sonic come up, we're going to do another epic battle for round 56.
Yeah.
The question is, which one do they want? Because they have the old Sonic and the new Sonic that we have.
Oh, I know. Yeah, these are the only ones that we have. The other two. Oh,
It's still in the car. Okay, how about this? For the person who gets the second place,
whoever gets second place will have a poster for you too.
Yeah. Yes. Alright.
yeah, although my car is a long jaunt.
Alright, so I'll do a little rock, paper, scissors so it'll be at the same time because that was, whoever did that one was all gypped on the last one. I saw that. What was it? The other dude over there was like hecka late. No, it was you. You were late, Patrick. I saw that. You were like,
Rock, paper,
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to wait. I saw that. Alright, so you guys get your hands in the proper battling motion.
Alright.
Although for 2 people, wouldn't it be better to do like elimination?
Nah, just do it at the same time.
Well, if whoever gets knocked out next, whoever gets like, if they both do scissors, if she does like paper, then she'll have to take it.
Okay.
So it's elimination style for that.
Yeah.
Oh, if there's 2 losers, then we'll just do
Yeah, because they downright both lost. Paper, scissors.
Finishes out. Alright, now it's between you 2.
If we had like a third one, we'll just give you one.
I only have 2.
Okay. Oh, never mind.
I think we had enough of us to get everybody or something.
Wow, that was neat.
Oh! Fox Tears wins. Yay!
There you go.
You get
And then you can like wait for after the panel and then we can tell you where. Oh, okay.
Oh, you're a fellow guy? What year?
Throw name, Greg, what do you got?
Troy Christensen.
Troy, with the audience. Hey, you won! Come on down!
Would you like Mario Kart 7 or is Mario, is it the 3DS?
RDS Mario Kart.
Alright. 3DS it is.
Let's give him a round of applause.
Oh yeah. Big winner.
Alright.
Brianna B. Brianna B.
Yay! We got a lot. We got a lot.
7 Uncharted 3 posters.
It's insane. They're all awesome.
Oh man.
Oh yeah. Show them the awesome
Heck of stuff.
arcade.
Yeah, because you had to go and manhandle it under your arm.
Hey.
I was carrying it. Calm down. Okay. My bad.
So obey my God, Chris. Shut up. These are the Uncharted Penny Arcade posters. Incredibly rare. So even if you don't like it, you can sell this.
You can get it autographed.
Sell it.
They'll honestly go for about 100 to 200 on eBay.
could probably,
Maybe, I don't know about that.
you could probably take it to PAX.
I checked.
So
You can,
so if Greg is right.
So the winner.
So if Greg's right, you guys are getting like a $200 poster.
And if you go to PAX and sign it, you'll be working for it.
Yeah, what's that guy from Charlie here? I don't know who's here anymore.
Northern Tour is awesome. All right, go ahead, Greg.
Austin Joss. How do you pronounce it? Josar.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Yeah. Congrats.
Congratulations, you graduated.
This is your,
You just got your diploma.
This is
So
your
the
badge.
next winner is Sadie.
Say.
Give her a round of applause.
Yes.
She's
I'm a
on
hunter.
Yeah.
Well, don't you spin through the crowd?
Funny story. Halloween 2 years ago, I went as a boomer. I just wore a small shirt.
Someone called me a smoker. Someone called me a smoker, and I raged at them.
Maybe they wanted a cigarette.
Smokers
They just wanted a cigarette. Don't judge me.
Next winner is. I'm gonna butcher your name, and I'm sorry. Hikaru.
Oh,
Hikaru Kazuhime.
that's pretty good. Hey. No, you lost.
Oh, that's right. You lost that.
Yeah.
You lost and then won.
They won like 200 votes.
How many do we have left?
We still got 4.
Four?
Yeah.
Cliff Sumaral?
Cliff?
Am I pronouncing that right? Cliff?
Is there a Cliff?
Cliff.
Bueller?
Alright.
Okay, so we gone. Alright. Adam Solis.
What's next after this graduation? Like, if we give him diplomas, what would it be for?
3 left?
I'm just in theory.
Yeah, we have 3 left. You gotta see ya.
We have other Battlefield 3 stands, I think, and we also have we have Call of Duty or Modern Warfare 3 posters as well that we can give away later. If any of you guys are interested in that.
Yeah.
They're looking at running a few COD tournaments later on after this con.
Allison Price.
Down to the last penny arcade poster.
We can give you the other Sonic one then, since you got that one.
Well, she can
Still want
choose.
that one.
She can choose.
Oh wait, you got one.
Taylor Savalas.
Share some hits.
Yeah.
So on the paper it reads like behind the name, no more apples to apples, or no more apples in the vending machine, please. I don't know
We are
why.
not a suggestion box. However, if this was Troopers, I would have shot you.
Taylor Savalas.
Which one?
Gone.
I know.
Last one. Oh, Patrick, get your ass over here.
Hey, one. Yeah.
Golf clap.
Yeah.
Golf clap.
No, you have to.
That was the last one.
That was our last one, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Do you remember what other stuff we had?
Yeah, I have a Rage promotional poster. Wow, no one keep track of that long time. I have 3 rationing plain all for 1 boxes. I have.
Oh, we have a Mass Effect 3 box too, though.
Oh, no, that's weird.
That's more Mass Effect.
There's 5 more names in here, so if these people want anything, they can just come in here.
Yeah, we can figure something out.
We'll find something.
Well, if anybody wants an extra Sonic poster, we can have it.
Yeah, so just come talk to us afterwards. Yeah. So I think that does it for us.
Okay, then find us just come up to us after the panel and we'll tell you how to get it from us. So, basically, like I said, we do anime and gaming stuff, and our website is missionstartpodcast.com. We are, as he was saying earlier, we are working on for gamers. We are doing tournaments. We're trying to work stuff out with A1 to let us do board game and card game tournaments. So if that's kind of your feel, we are going to try and work that stuff out too with them. We are going to be doing, the first tournament we want to do is either a Battlefield 3-1 or a Modern Warfare 3-1. And there's a GameStop on Greenback Avenue that will let us set up a tournament. So, and we are, because we're going to look on doing a lot of that stuff this year. So,
yeah, for the location, it's it's at the intersection of Garfield and Greenback, and it's like right off the freeway going from 80. Yeah, it's right across the street from the Century Movie Theaters.
And another thing, since we are a website, we do like to take on free writers who are trying to get into gaming and anime reviews and stuff like that. Doing websites like ours, just getting your name out there is good to bring to publishers when you're trying to get hired on. Right now, none of us are getting paid, so we're all doing this because this is what we love doing until we can get big enough to start making money. So I mean, we are
by the fans for.
Yeah, we're fans who are like, you know what, we're sick of reading these incredibly biased reviews. Because gaming companies like Game Informer, not GameFAQs, but you know, GamePro, and a lot of them get electronic gaming. Yeah, they don't like to badmouth games to a certain degree because they're getting games free from the publishers. We don't. I have to buy. If I want to play Arkham Asylum and review it, I have to buy it or use my GameFly account. So I have to get them all on my own. So if I hate a game, I'll say this game sucked. Like, and I'll tell you why I think it sucked. I've been a gamer since I was 4. I was playing the NES. Yeah, that's how, like, I'm old. Like, I'm 25. I've been playing games since I was, like, 4, so it's a long time.
Question, which game was your starter?
Street Fighter 2.
Whoa.
Wow.
That was the game that I actively started playing a lot. Although I did play Zelda when I was, like, 4 or 5 on the NES, the original Zelda games.
For me, it was Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt.
Yeah, well, Duck Hunt. I mean, I used to have this glove you could put on your hand. It was like a control, the power glove. Yeah, and
It's so rad.
Yeah, I used to walk around with my power glove and my Duck Hunt gun, and I was like, yeah, I'm a robot. Yeah, and I used to play games with it.
Written reviews and not as often, but pictures from like cons like this. So any pictures that my colleague is taking pictures of, that sounded weird. You can check them all out on the website.
Ooh, pictures. So yeah, you can follow me on Facebook, and like I said, I'm planning on making my own cosplay page, Kaz Cosplays.
So yeah, he's giving us the time that we got to get out of here. So we are wrapping up our panel for Gaia. So you guys can all kick it.